First of all, I just want to apologize for any banging noises you hear. There's a lot of construction on the roof of my building, so yeah. And I work at night, so like I have to do this during the day. So, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make another style of transitional dreads. This style is more like, I don't know, more common practice than the other one that's on my channel. The one where you have the two colors together and one's braided and then back combed and then the other one's wrapped around. Those ones work really well for double-ended dreads. For single-ended dreads, you end up with like two colors here when they're transitional ones like that. With this style, you just have like one color and then it like transitions at the end. This is a great way if you like, say you fuck up measuring your hair and it ends up short, you can extend it by adding color to the bottom. It can be any color at all, really, but if you're just making like one-tone dreads and you want them, like, say if this is too short for you, you can always like add some more hair, back comb it, and then like make it longer. That's pretty much how to extend dreads and stuff. If you're making a set that's like over 3 feet, you would have to do that. But with these ones, they're a good length, and they're going to be transitional ones. So, again, sorry for the noise. I'm going to show you how to lengthen this. As you can see, I've already put this on the whatever strand thing, and backcombed it. This backcomb is very tight. As you can see, it's very, you know, erect. So, yeah, what you'll need for this is a latch hook, preferably one with one of these closey clasp things. They work the best because it's easier to thread hair through without it getting snagged. So, what you're going to do, since these are blue and black, I'm taking the black hair. This hair is pretty short when it's folded over. It's about, like, say, about a foot long. What you want to do is take, not a lot of hair, but enough. I'd say about this much, maybe a little bit more than that. Let's see. As much. You don't want to take the same amount as the dread that you made. So just take that much. Spin it like this in the center. And this shows you how much hair you have to work with, and when it gets back combed, this will be like double the width. But you want to do that, roll it in your hands like that, take your latch hook, and you don't want to do it right at the bottom, because otherwise when you back comb it'll fall out. What you want to do is start roughly either the middle or a little bit up from the middle. I'm going to put it like right here. So what you want to do is stick this through right in the middle of the dread. Hold the hair back so it doesn't get tangled in this part. And then since you rolled this, it'll be easier to slide this through on your finger, like that, and then pull it up so it meets the hook. Make sure you get all of the hair. Twist it a little, and then close the clasp, like that. And then you can pull this through. Now keep holding on to one side of the piece of hair like this, and then pull the other half through like that. And then you should have two pieces right in between like this, right in the middle of your hair. And you want to make sure that the bottom portion like this is a little uneven. That way you get like a more tapered end, and it's not like blunt. So that's how you add the hair. And then after that, you want to back comb it. So you can back comb it with this part in it, or you can back comb this part separate and then spin it around when you seal it like that. It'll end up looking like this when you seal it. Like that. That's what it'll end up looking like. If you can even see that. See how it transitions to a black there? So, like, as you can, that's where, like, the part is, so that's why it's poofy like that. But, yeah. So now, where is my backcombing brush thing? What you want to do is take a comb like this. This is a dog comb. I've used this for all of my dread tutorials. It's all metal on both sides. This side has thicker spacings than this side. I always start with the top part first, and then this part gets difficult just because there's like this piece here. You just want to start back combing. If you're using a chair like mine, you can put something there to stop it from spinning, but it seems to do pretty good. Just back comb it like that. And make sure you run your fingers through to make sure that there's no lumps. As you can see, there's kind of a lump thing there. And you want to like just make sure that it's nice and even. I think like the last time I made dreads like this, I attached it too low and they ended up falling apart. But you know, it takes practice doing these ones. But this is just, you know, as I said, this is another method of making transitional dreads. The other way was more of an easier way than this is. If you're new at making dreads, I don't suggest making these ones. I suggest making like a single color first, and then go on from there. But, yeah. And flip it to this side and start using that. And this will make the back comb tighter. Construction's been going on since fucking January. Like that. These ones take the longest time to make for me, just because I back comb the first color first, and then I add the second color, and then I back comb that, and then I seal it. When I make these dreads, they're all going to be different no matter what. I mean, like, they are homemade, so there's going to be abnormalities with your dreads, but I try to make mine as perfect as possible. I mean, for my standards anyway. But yeah, you just want to make sure that the back comb is nice and even and full. So, there. And just run your finger through and make sure that there's no bumps. I have a little bump in this. Just made some more. Alrighty. So once your dread is all back combed and to the way that you want it, see how this is like separated? You can back comb these together if you want. That just makes it easier to seal them. I'll make sure that this because there's going to, unfortunately, there might be a bump right in the center, so it's good to always go back through and back comb them together. And twist as you back comb. So they're not like completely stuck together, but they're adhered together through all those loose fibers, kind of like a Velcro, if that makes any sense at all. It's a little bit longer than I'd like, so I'm gonna probably cut this at some point. But that's how you would back comb a double, or a that's how you would back comb a transitional dread with the color in the center coming outward. This is probably, like I said, one of the most common methods to use when you're making synthetic transitional dreads. The other method is more for beginners. This method, as I said, is more advanced just because you're braiding and backcombing into another dread. This is a great way to extend the length of a dread if your dreads are too long. If you have a dread set that you've had for a while and it's like you think it's a little short, you can always go back into them, unravel them, and go back and backcomb them and add more hair to them, because you can always go back into a dread even after it's sealed. But yeah, so after this, sealing is pretty much the same for any kind of dread. Depending on the method you use, you would just spin it like this. And you can see that there is a little bump there. I'll have to fix that after. Back on that. You can see how there's like a definite like kind of bump lump there. I'll end up fixing that later. But yeah. And then you would just twist it, spray it down with water, and then seal it with a flat iron if you use that method. That is. Another method would be like using a steamer and then just steaming it like so. I'm not going to be sealing this one because I have a whole shitload of other ones and I actually have to go to work in like an hour. So yeah, so this is what it would look like if it was sealed. I have other videos showing how to seal dreads. In my stages video I show how to do the ends of dreads properly. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe if you like my videos and you like my channel. Other than that, have a nice day and I'll talk to you later.